stream. That is not what we want. Hold up. But good morning. Sorry, a little awkward. I get things out of order. We got time. Five, like PCs now. That's right past the second white wall. Yeah, right there. Hi, Mr. Bird, what's your name? Bryce? First on this side. Well, hello. Yeah, but you know, one back from the top. So this, no, like one computer. I don't know. You got some elbow space, but don't go right next to the wall. Hi, what's your name? Okay, you are the fifth computer on that side, right by the white wall. Hi.
Yeah, I've never seen like
Are y'all ready for the longest class period ever? 4 hours. It's cool. You're gonna be throwing coding when we get out of this thing.
Okay.
Oh yeah, everybody's like in computer science, right? That's what this is. So if that's not you, figure that out. I got one more. Robert.
Why? And it only said video. Why?
Why not?
Oh, it's got lights.
For library. So you can say hi to your peers and then probably pick up your voice. If they're watching. But you guys can actually like, oh. About to lock your screen. Heads up. Just tell it. If you can log in. I'm just giving you a heads up, like, about to take over your screen. So if you want to get a sheet of paper out, that might not be a bad idea. Hey, you do that meeting yesterday?
What happened to Mr. Morris?
Jacob is my officer, right?
Not sound one from home this year because of the whole pandemic.
That's okay. I have to go. Jacob, are you the officer for skills?
Yes.
Did you do the meeting?
The meeting yesterday?
Yeah, the 5:30 to 6:31.
Yeah, this has to be done off.
Good. What happened? Is there anything I need to know about?
Most of it was just them discussing everybody's progress and what they were doing.
Is there anything I need to know about?
Nothing that I can remember.
He said there's nothing important that he remembers.
Fabulous. Thank you for being so attentive.
All right. Hi, I'm Mr. Paris. I'm not Mr. Cordes. Y'all are his like following group, right? Like you've had him before. Thought you were coming back to him. Surprise. Sorry. Okay. And hi, stream. Let's do like a. Let's do talking head for now, so you can like see somebody. See, Mike. Okay, so you're like, why does he have a 50s family watching TV? And I'll tell you why. Because my camera is terrible and it has horrible like resolution, so I had to have a small screen, and so it's way better to have a little background than to have a little small screen on black. See, that's it. So, but also in that, everything that we do every day, I will be streaming lessons. So, like whatever I do in class, got it online too. So if you need to copy something down or whatever, it's always available to you. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. Oh, and your computers. Show. Sure. But not that. You want to see that? Come on. Bam. So let's do the really exciting stuff first. Right? That PBIS things. Or do y'all want to know what we're doing today? Would y'all like the plan for today? Would you like, you gonna have an opinion, or are you just gonna sit there awkwardly?
I'm gonna do the latter.
All right, stream, do y'all have an opinion? Nope, one viewer. And that might just be my own. No, it's not, because it goes on to 0. If you have an opinion on stream, tell me. Or not. Let's do our plan. Here, let me let them see. That's not for you guys. Okay, so we have second and third period, which will take us all the way to 11:38. Great. So excited. So, second period. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do PBIS. We're going to knock that out
High
first.
school students, thank you for getting to class in a timely manner.
You're welcome.
We are trying to give you guys a few days to get used to where your classes are and the one-way directional hallways before we begin our charting system. So please keep continuing to classes on time until we can give you a few days to get this down. Thank you for our first day yesterday. It was a wonderful day of school. I know wearing the mask and the social distancing, it is hard and hard to do all the time, but I appreciate y'all's willingness. Please listen to staff when they remind you to put your mask back on or to spread out, realizing that hopefully this will be done soon in the next few months, and then we can return to school as normal. Thank you. Please, teachers, make sure that you are doing your day 2 PBIS lessons so that our students are aware of our campus expectations. That's very important. Thank you and have a good day.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We'll put like work time here. I'll put work time here. So here's what the day looks like. We're gonna do PBIS, knock that out, but I don't think I have the stomach to do 2 periods worth of PBIS, so we're gonna break that up a little bit. And then we're gonna do syllabus. We're gonna do the principles of practicum and information technology first, because it applies to you if you're in CSA as well, because congratulations, you just got hired. I'll tell you what that means a little bit, and then we'll do your syllabus, how anything's different, and then we'll do a coding lesson, and then I'll let you do some work on the assignments in Schoology. And then third period will come around, we'll do PBS again, and then we will spend 30 minutes, and we'll see how far we can go in making a game. Because I don't know what your coding background is, or how strong you are, so I'm going to find out real fast. Yes? Good. Let's do the lesson. Look how great this is. Just takes over your screen and you have no power. I don't really care about the power, but oh, attendance. You know, I did this every day, every time yesterday before the slide said to. But here we go. Attendance. Christian. Bryson's here. Bowers. Jonathan Bowers. Easton's here. Oscar. Serenity. Robert. Dawson. Xavier. Tommy.
Here.
Yeah. Angel.
Here.
Leonardo. Abel. Adrian. Cade, or Jacob, sorry.
Here.
Yeah. Jonathan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of you in here? Go ahead. All right, taking attendance. Making progress. Everyone's required to do a self-screening. Did you do it this morning?
Maybe.
Did you say, I feel like I don't have fever, chills, cough, shortness, breath, difficulty, breathing, fatigue, muscle belly aches, headache? Woo! New loss of taste or smell, sore throat, congestion, runny nose, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. If you had any of those last 3, I'd hope you didn't show up at all. Like, you know, no question. But the rest of it. I think the muscle and body aches too. If you like can't get out of bed because it hurts so bad.
What do you play football?
Well, that's that's on you. Self-imposed. And make sure you haven't been within somebody, we're around somebody that has COVID. And you're all expected to be safe, practice social distancing, hand hygiene, respiratory etiquette. And you gotta wash your hands for 20 seconds. Which if you can get all the way through the ABCs in 20 seconds, good for you. Yeah, keep your mask on. Keep your ID on all the time. One-way halls. Keep walking. Have y'all seen this map before? Yep. Easy peasy. Bam. You don't know about this traffic pattern? I don't even know where this is. I have not explored around here, so I should probably explore more. It's pretty little. It's not Dora. What's her cousin's name? Diego. Should be a little Diego and go exploring around and find things. That's the same thing they just said. Oh, except for the 3 people in the bathroom. Well, I haven't seen many people in the bathroom. And don't drink from the water fountain. Fill up your water bottle. Thumbs up, thumb down. If you're in a classroom, can you take off the mask?
No. Can you talk in the hall? With your friends? No. Do you have to follow the one-way markers? Yes. Yep, 3 people in the bathroom. Hand sanitizer, where is it available? If you said the hallway, you would be right. What's the Ranger 5? That's the Ranger 5. Surprise! If somebody waves to you, they're trying to get your attention. If you didn't learn it, you know, some other time. And when they wave to you with the Ranger 5, you should also wave back with the Ranger 5. Good? And then I guess you put your fingers down. And then when they get to 1, the whole room's quiet. That sounds fun. Do what?
That's literally what my elementary did.
Why do we need this? They're about to answer the question. Why do they need this? Due to COVID-19, proximity is not always possible. When you see the Ranger 5 started, you gotta pay attention. Oh, yeah, because I can't walk around and be like, hey. I could. Don't want to get the disease. If you arrive, don't be tardy. If you are tardy, get a tardy pass. That there's a policy there. They have attention. Be there by 4:10. You got 1 week. Returns and referrals. Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Thursday. Man, that is a lot of time. We chill there for 4 hours. If you have referrals from tardies, you can't exempt your finals. What's a no-go list?
Can't go to events.
Oh, that stinks. And 7 minutes, there's no reason to be late, right? Yeah. Remember something else? Ranger 5, anywhere on campus? We're back on Ranger 5? Oh, mastery check. We're education people, we check these things. See somebody else doing it? Wave back. The 3 expectations, close your mouth, put everything down, find the speaker. Cool. There's more. Consequences, first tardy, 30 minutes. Don't do it, get a referral. Unable to exempt finals. Can you do your 30 minutes detention on Wednesday? Come on. This is a dance, we gotta do this dance, then we get to do the fun things. Come on, guys.
Yes.
No.
Oh, no.
No, because you go home early. They got things to do. Last day of start detention for 4 hours is Thursday. It's the only time you can stay for 4 hours. So if you got raid on Thursday night, don't be tardy. Where do you get a tardy pass? From teacher in the hallway. Cool. I think I'm supposed to do that later today. And what time did we? Oh, I was going to ask the question, then I shut the answer. If you watch your time count, show up by 4:10. What class do you go to next?
I don't know.
This one. All morning long.
Like all over the place.
All right, we did it. Okay, what did I say we're doing next? Syllabus. We're doing PIT first. These acronyms are great. Just make sure I'm not muted. You know, I did 2 class periods yesterday, and I was muted, and I felt like an idiot. But I'm fixed it today, because I'm not muted now. Anyhow. Do y'all know the 4-year sequence? Is that new for y'all? Would y'all like me to tell you about the 4-year sequence? You don't want to know about it? I'm going to tell you. This is important. Okay, what's year 1? Whoa, look at that Cooper standard. Is that Cooper standard? Oh, just Cooper. Okay, year 1 is fundamentals of cement. Oops. And that's a tech credit, right? And that's enormous font. Year 2? What's year 2? APCS principles. And that is a language credit. Language other than English. So it counts as like Spanish or your French. What?
Already got those credits.
Yep, thanks for you. Year 3. APCSA. That's where you are. Yeah. That counts as a language credit and a math credit. So you get 2 different credits. They're both AP credits for your GPA. Language and a math. And then year 4 is practicum in information technology, and that is tech credit. Actually, it's 2 tech credits. 2. Let's be 1. So, my end goal as we go from year 1 to year 4 is to make it so that you can walk into software development company and get a job. As smooth a transition as possible. If I were to have all my year 4 students in one room and they weren't all distance learning, this would look like a software development company. We find clients, we interview them, we get the requirements, we build test cases, we do a design, we build the code, we run the test cases, we write the user manual, we ship it out to them, and you have a resume of multiple projects that you take to your interviews and you say, here's my knowledge of the whole process and I can jump in any place you need me to. Where you guys fall in that, you guys are in year 3, and in software development, a lot of the planning is done by like very well educated folks, and then a lot of times they have people to assist them in coding. And so I will oftentimes get year 3 folks to code with the year 4 folks. So when they have a project and they're like, here's my design, I'm going to say, okay, you 3 are working for this group, you 3 are working for this group, something like that. And then you guys are going to code for the year 4 students to help their projects out, which helps build your resume and your experience as well. Make sense? But what's my end goal in all 4 years? To what?
To get a job.
For you to get a job. I got one. I want you to be able to go get a job. I want you to be able to go pay for college while you're sitting and working. Or if you just say, I want to put that on hold, maybe not do it. I'm not supposed to say that, but you would be career ready. You could go into a software development company and say, I know what test cases are. I know what use cases are. I know how these designs look. I know UML. I know object-oriented programming. I know the difference between a waterfall methodology and an agile methodology, right? Is all that stuff you've heard of before? Some of it. Cool. Well, we will make sure you've heard of all of it by the time you leave. Okay. Any questions about that? But that was good for y'all to know, right? So when I say help them with their projects, I'm not just doing it because I don't want to help them. I'm doing it because I want to prepare you for a workplace. And get your college credit. You know, the things I'm supposed to say. So this has a AP test. It's on Java. It is not as intense as the Java certification test. And we may look at doing that as well. I'm a little nervous because I think you guys didn't learn Java last year, right? What language did y'all learn last year? Python? Java. You did Java? Where'd you come from? Here? Where'd you come from? What class did you have? You had CSA or principals. You had principals last year. And you did what? Yeah, you did the hodgepodge stuff. They redesigned that curriculum. And so you're in programming, you did Java. Were you in anything?
Program.
And what'd you do?
A little bit of Java.
A little bit of Java. Awesome.
I did Python.
You were in principals, you had Python.
I was also in
Principals, Python?
principal.
Python. Cool. So the CSA test is in Java, but it is not as language exclusive in terms of they're really forgiving in the syntax. That certification test, if you've learned any other languages, they have a lot of good distractors that will mess you up because they're like, Java's the way of life. And so they try to trip you up because of other languages. Does that make sense? No? Yes? I can't see. This is hard. If you want me to explain it again, I can. No? We're good? Respond to me! Did y'all understand that explanation of the certification test and the AP test?
Maybe.
AP test is good. It's fine if you've learned other languages. Certification test kind of has some beef with that. So we're going to push really hard to get good on that AP test. Sound good? And if later you're like, hey, let's get certified, we can look at that too. But at least I know where you guys are coming from. Okay. Syllabus. Still haven't tackled that yet. In the world. Bam, there we go. Okay. Should I go all full screen? Look professional? Boom. All right, there's my name. Jay Barrett. Jay's Justin. I just didn't really type it out. You got right there's my email. I had to type it out there. There's my phone number, 8516, gets you right there. Conference 1st 7th. Tutorials before school, 7:58:20, except Tuesday mornings I have duty. I'm out in the rotunda, but come say hi because watching students walk by is pretty boring. So if you want to talk for your science, have questions, I'll be glad to help you out. Any morning. Practicum is a 1-year course. Trying to get ready for the workforce. They do 60-40 split. You guys will do 80-20 split. So 80% of your grades in major grades, 20% of your grades in daily grades. And then all of this is from the handbook. So, yep, I'll assume it's the same as what you've seen before. Okay, this matters. This matters. Hey, streaming people, this matters. Is anybody on right now? Look, I got 2 viewers. Sweet. Streaming people. Supplies. You need to have a computer access with a minimum internet access. But I would prefer that you use an IDE for your programming. There's some fill-in-the-blank stuff, make things a lot easier. So I'll show you both today, probably. And then I'll show you both of those today. But if you can get access to a PC or Mac or something with a better processor than a Chromebook, you'll have an easier time coding. If you can't, it's cool. We'll figure it out. We'll work with it. You won't be at a disadvantage, but it's just a lot easier to use NetBeans, and you guys have NetBeans on your system. Class expectations. Come ready to work. Participate. Be respectful. That was too difficult. It's going to be a fun year. I don't think it's too difficult. It'll be fun. Don't cheat. If I do extra credit, I have to do it for everybody. Any concerns? And look, I covered your syllabus at the same time because it's not that different. Cool. Oh, man. All right. What's the next thing on the to-do list? Coding. Let's do that. Y'all know about Rappel? Have y'all played with Rappel before? Hi, see, this is the first time I'm meeting most of you all, except for a couple of you I think I've seen skills. So I don't know what you've done before. Have you done Rappel?
I don't remember.
Would you like me to go over it?
Yes.
All right. See, that's all I needed to hear. Here, let me get a little fresh browser up. repl.it. No, man, I spelled that awful. Fingers are just one key off. You just butcher it. Rappel.it is fantastic. It's an online skip. It's an online compiler. So all languages, see Java, sounds good. So then you can do your stuff, and you can say like int x equals 8. Run it, runs over here. Easy peasy. Maybe. Slow as a slug. Why are you causing problems here? There. Forgot the symbol. Got it. Other things on this, you can share. You can have multiple people. One of the nice things I really like if you're a distance learner, or if you guys want to work in partners with distance learners, is you can hit this share button, and you can invite people to multiplayer, which means that they're going to be typing on the code, but you type on the code. So you can work together on the same piece of code at the same time. It's pretty handy. Like a Google Doc. It used to only be like 3 or 4 people, but apparently due to COVID-19, we're temporarily increasing the free multiplayer limit. So that's pretty nice. So that's Rappel. The other option that you have is NetBeans. We'll throw that up there for y'all, which is what I'll teach y'all in, but it's all Java. So. It's loading its modules. You can't see the sign, so I want to keep you filled in. It's done loading modules, but it's not up yet. Bam! There it is. There's a good little friend, NetBeans. And if you want to make a project is like a collection of programs. So you just press the new project button. Make a class library. Very rarely will you make a full application, because class library just lets you do that manually. So we can call it like, I don't know, ComSci A programs. Boom, got a little folder over here, right? Yes, good. And then I can go to new file. I can make a main class. I can call it like showing off, I don't know. And then it automatically loads in your imports and all that. Gives you your throw exception. So you don't have to worry about that stuff. And then just S out tab. Hello. Have you all learned about for loops and all that? Yes. So one of the reasons I like this program is you can do things like for tab. And it automatically gives you a for loop that's correctly syntaxed. You can do IFF tab. There you go. If statement. Play syntax for you. So it's really handy. So that's what I'll be using to code. Good? Any concerns? All right, let's go to the presentation. Because, you know, I got a presentation for all. If you're in practicum, you should read the assignment in Schoology and knock that out. If you have questions, you should ask them in the chat or email, whatever. Whee. All right, primitive data types. Let's see, slide. If you've done all this, you should vocalize. This is stuff we've already covered. Because I will not insult your Control F5, sorry, Control F5, bam. Sweet. All right. That's not fundamental, it's just for you guys. Sorry. Printing. Do you know about system.out.print and print line? What's the difference? So I should talk about it real quick, right? All right. Well, here, let me show you. All right. So if I do print, and I run it. Oh, and that means Shift F6 is run. You don't have to memorize it because you can go to run and it always tells you Shift F6 until you just memorize it. So doesn't nag like your mom, just slowly remind you. Anyway, I'm not saying your mom nags. I don't. Anyway, you don't have to clip that. It'd be terrible. But hello G. You see the G comes right after the hello. Is there a space there? No. Is there an enter there? No, because we didn't tell it to do any of that, and it does literally what you tell it to. Say hello. Say G. All right. If you want to, but when you say print line, what it does is it does hello, and then it hits enter. Yes? Does that make sense? So what's the difference in print and print line? Yeah, print line just puts enter after it. Okay, so here's a little test quiz. Not real test, but you know. What's going to happen? Okay, we know it'll say G hello. Where's the enter going to be? Be after the hello? Yeah. Because we said G, and then we said say hello, and then print a line after that. All right? Good? Concerns? I can move on. If I'm going too slow, you guys got to tell me. You don't care. All right. Have you all heard about escape sequences? Cool. Are we covering some stuff? Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks for telling me, though. I appreciate the feedback. Is there something I'm skipping that you don't understand?
I understand like the things you're telling me.
Sweet.
I don't know how it works.
Wait, back up. You understand what I'm telling you, but you don't understand how it works.
I just understand like the functions and the line.
Okay. All right. I'll keep that in mind. I don't really know how to address that right now. But when you have specific questions, you'd be like, how does this work? I'll tell you. Is that a better? Yeah, okay. Because if you've never learned a programming language, I would start with this anyway. So, okay, escape sequences. So escape sequences, you put in your prints, or you put in strings. We can cover that later. But the backslash right below backspace, it doesn't actually print. It just is a special command. So like if you see /t, it's like hitting the tab button, or you see /n, it's like hitting enter, make a new line. And if somebody's like, well, I want to print the slash, then you do 2 slashes and it does one of them. So, you want me to play with that and show you? Yes, it'd be helpful, right? Okay. All right, so let's go back here. So we can go here, and remember we say hello G, right? So I could actually just do /n, and now it'll have how many enters? How many enters have I told it to do? Why did it skip a line? Because what? Yep, so print line adds a line, and the /n adds a line. Nifty, right? If I could, well, let's pick a good spot. Right there is a great spot. Get in trouble some other places. I could do this. Is it going to say hello? Whoop. Puts a little tab there, right? Because /t is tab. Yes, yes. And what if I change this t to a slash? What do you think will happen? Anyone? Anyone? Would it just add a slash? Yes. And it got rid of the tab, because, you know, again. But yes, it just has a slash in there. So if you want to do dates or whatever, show off for a date. So. All right. Any concerns? Can I go on? Yes, no, yes. Okay. All right, there's a bunch of them. So, you know, and this is available to you on Schoology. So if you want a little chart, got that up there for you. Good? Yes, no, yes. All right. Variables. Right now we're just going to do numbers, but later on in the lesson we'll switch it up a little bit. So integers, have you all learned about those in math? Some math teacher taught you about integers. Yeah. So anything from negative infinity to positive infinity, as long as it's in the decimals. Yep. Not quite so for Java because there's some limits on smallest number they can hold, biggest number they can hold, but integers, int, and decimals, double. Some of you are like, what the heck? Why would you call it a double? You might know. It's pretty cool. Let me show you. Someone give me a decimal value. 3.7. When you hold 3.7, how many numbers do you hold? How many numbers do you hold? You are holding 2 numbers. You hold the number before the decimal and after it. Man, it's like double the space. Why do they call it a double? It's double the space. You gotta hold the number before the decimal and the number after the decimal. Good? You can make numbers in Java by just declaring them, and you can give them values by using an equal. Would you like me to do that in the code example so you can see it in action? Would that help you? Do you want me to skip that part? Yes? Did you say yes? Okay, let's do it. All right, so here we go. We got our hello G. SLUT tab gets you a print line. So we'll do a little dotted line so we have some space. All right, so you want to make an integer or double? Tell me. Double. Chat, feel free to throw your answers in there. I'm keeping watching it right now. Double. What do you want to hold? You want to hold 5.3. Okay. There you go. 5.3. What value do you want to give 5.3? 5.2. Really just troll it, right? You can put whatever you want to in there, right? Because the name of the decimal value is 5.3, and you can put whatever you want to in that box. Yes? And we can do like an integer. Let's call it Todd. It's a nice, fair name, right? What value you want to give Todd? $34. Yeah, that's good. All right, Todd has already 34. And so we can do like S out Todd. Well, let's capitalize. Todd times $5.3. What do you think it's going to do? Multiply it, yeah. Can I save that number? Yes. So what if I want to save that number? I can make like a value called like answer. And it's going to complain. Java needs you to tell it how much space to hold. Do you want one number space or two number space? So what do you want to do for this one? Make it a double or integer?
Double.
Double. Oop. Oh man. What's your problem? Oh, I misspelled answer. Pretty good problem. So there we go. Okay, what if I want to make this a double? Or an integer, sorry. What if I want it to be an integer? Let's look and see what it says. It says it's an incompatible type, lost conversion. So you all know what that means? Should I explain what that means?
It's just like write the code or just try and learn it.
All right, so 5.2 times 34 is 176.8. All right, an integer takes up how many spaces? One space. So if you have one space, it's telling you, I'm going to have two numbers. I'm going to have to put it somewhere. You could lose information with this. This is a problem. Yes? Okay. So if you were to give me an integer to represent 176.8, what integer would you give me? He said 177, you said 176. What do y'all think is the better answer? 177. Why is 177 better? Because you rounded up? Huh? Okay. So let's talk about what Java does. Because Java is like the most high school kid thing ever. Okay, so when I put parentheses, this is called casting. And by the way, if you want to take notes or whatever, If you're just a watcher, cool. But if it helps you to write things down, you're always welcome just to write down stuff. The videos are available afterwards. However you learn best, please learn. This is called typecasting, and all that is you put. We'll do it in Notepad. You put 2 sets of parentheses. You put the type here, and then you put whatever you want to change. And so if it was a double, it'll just turn it into an integer. If it was an integer, it can turn it into a double. Nifty, right? Yeah. Because if you learn Python, Python's like, I got this, and it does it all behind the scenes. Java's a little more technical. It's like, I need you to hold the hand, walk you through it. So if you were learning Python, you could say like, x is 5, x is 5.2, and that wasn't a problem. Java's got some beef with it because they describe how much space they want to hold for their numbers. Good? Are y'all understanding me? Yes, we're following? Okay. So, let's see what happens when I turn this value into an integer, right? Oh, it's not 177. Yikes, why? What happens? Okay, so Java is like the most classic high school kid ever. Because if you don't tell it what to do, Java's like, I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to do it. Easiest way out, you didn't tell me what to do. So here's how its logic goes. 176.8, you willingly recognize that you would not have enough space. I told you wouldn't have enough space. I don't care. Just drop it. I don't care what your other thing is. You didn't care. I don't care. Nobody cares. Right? It's not going to do the rounding process because you didn't care. Make sense? If you want to care, we'll talk about that later. But that's outside of today's lesson, so I'm not going to okay. Wombo combo. You can declare something and then make it equal in the same line. Which is what we were doing before. But I just thought I'd tell you that. You can declare it, give it a value later. You can do it all in one line. We good? Yes, no? Okay. All right. Oh. So if I were to do this operation, if we do 1.2 times 5, what do we get? 6. 6 plus 4, 10. So what is the answer going to be here? It's not 10. I'm smiling because it's okay, but it's not 10. 10.0. Your mind's going to have to retrain itself to see the difference between a double and an integer in your processing. It's not 10, it's 10.0. Right? Because it's holding 2 numbers. You know, 0 is not much, but it's still something. But it's not, but it is. But it's not, but it is. Okay, so 10.0 is what it is, and here's the explanation for it. Rat's a double, so it needs a decimal. So you could print them all out. You can use pluses. It's called appending. You can append things. Okay, go on. Yes, no. Yes, okay. Booleans. Have you all learned about booleans? We spoke of it. Well, let me introduce you formally so you can stop talking behind booleans back. Okay, booleans are true or false. So you can say like, is this taxable? Yes or no. You usually put booleans into loops or if statements to see if you should do something. If you don't always have to say that a Boolean is true or false. It can change based on the information you have. So you could say like, Boolean, is this a big number? Right? If the number is bigger than 8, it's a big number. Otherwise, it's not. So it's false. Right? So you can either say, Boolean, this is true, or you can just give values. So would y'all like me to code that, or you want me to keep going? If I'm boring you, that's bad. If you're lost, that's bad. Be right in the middle. So, do you want me to code this? Try coding it? Okay. On it. S out. Boolean. I don't know, what's somebody do? Smart IQ. I guess I should have an integer. I'm going to start it as like 100. That's the average IQ, yeah? It's normally distributed. Is it 100 or is it 85 is the average? You know what? This is going to bother me. IQ scales. Oh, it's an average 100. Good job. Okay, so smart IQ would be like IQ is greater than like 105. Right? They're pretty smart? Yes? And so I can say S out smart IQ. Ding. 100's not bigger than 105. But if I give you an IQ of like 110, it's true. And very rarely will you actually print the booleans because that just looks weird, right? But you might do this. You might go IFF tab if smart IQ you are smart. And then if we go back to 100 or 90, go 90. Why not? It doesn't say it. It doesn't say you're smart because you're not above the threshold. Make sense? We good? Got what booleans are? You saw a working example? Okay. Let's go here. Constants. Let's talk about constants. Constants are variables that do not change. So we use the word final. And then it says, if you say something's final, you're not going to change it. You can't just like go into the code and be like, change the minimum wage. Help all my buddies out. Anyway, you can't do that, right? Because it's final. It's a constant thing until the law changes. So, do you want me to show you the code? Yes, Mr. Barrett. All right. To the code we go. So, let's say we want to make a final called integer called smart IQ. Yeah? What do you want to set it to? Smart IQ barrier? I don't know. I just realized I had another variable called smart IQ. What do you want to set it at? Should we use 105 again? 110, 17, 105. Bam. Watch it flip out. So what if I'm like, I want it to be 4? throws me an error. The little red line means an error, right? Just like in your English essays in Word doc. I can't assign it to final because you said it was final, and now it's not. Now, cool thing about final is I can do this. What did I just do? And now it's okay with 4. Change the number in a minute. But what did I just do?
You got rid of the value.
So I made a box that holds an integer, and I said, call it smart to barrier. Whenever I set it, it's done. But I'm not setting it yet. And then later on in the code, I can give it a value, and as soon as it has a value, you're locked in. Yes? So you could do something like this. Up higher in the code, you could declare it. Later on, when you want to make when you have all your information, you can then decide what the value will be. Once it's set, you're done. You ain't changing it. But you can declare it down later, assign it. Make sense? Good? Bad? Ugly? Quiet? Always. Boom. Then you're like 104. There you go. And then right here, I can put smart IQ barrier. Have you learned about naming conventions before in coding? Yes, no, maybe. When I make a new word, like this one right here, you just capitalize every new word. Yeah? Is that familiar to y'all? Yes, no? Okay. And then, but in constants, they're always all caps, so we just put underscores as our spaces. So when you see something in all caps in code, it's almost always a constant or someone's an idiot. So if it comes straight from Java, it's a constant. But if it's somebody else's code, then they probably mean for it to be a constant unless they just don't know how to follow naming conventions for coders. All right. So yeah. Do y'all get constants now? You get final? Yes? Okay. Let's see how much more do we have. Oh, 3 more slides. Sweet. And then I want to show you how to make a scanner so you can actually read in from the keyboard and read in from a file. Because that's useful. Yes? If you don't think it's useful, we can skip it. But you're probably going to want to type something into your code. Right? You just want me to show you the examples of it real quick? Do y'all learn better from the slides or from the examples? Examples. Can I skip the last couple slides and you can go back and look at it later if you want and just show you all the example stuff I need to? Yes? Okay. Look, we're getting feedback. This is fantastic. We are learning to learn together. Good stuff. If chat, if you have any questions, let me know. I have a couple viewers, a couple quiet viewers. All right. So let's make a scanner. I usually call my scanner scan. Oh, but one of the cool things in NetBeans is you can just go new O for a new object, and then you can title it whatever you want to, and it makes all your stuff for you. It's great. So, yeah. But we're not gonna do that. I like to call my scanner scan. It's like my good old friend, and I have a consistent name for him. So, is a new scanner. He's brand new. He's never existed. Welcome to the world, little friend. And I'm going to tell this scanner to read from the keyboard, and that's the system's input. So if you look at your computer, what's the primary way that you expect to put information into that little box?
Keyboard.
the keyboard. So that's system.in. Yes? Okay. And then I could say like system.out.print. What is your IQ? Just keep running that example. I'm gonna put like 5 or 6 spaces and a colon, because it's gonna look real nice and spiffy. And I like nice spiffy code. And then I can say integer user IQ. Made a box to hold that number, right? And then where do I think I'm gonna get that information from? Well, I just made someone to scan things, so I'm gonna ask my scanner, hey scanner, can you help me? Can you give me whatever number they enter? Yes? So I'm gonna do scan, and in Java, when you press dot, you access all the things that they can do for you. What can you do for me? And it's like, here's your menu. Take a look, see what you want. So what on here do you think would be a good option if I want the next integer that they just typed? Next integer, bam. And radix is just another way to say base. So if you have things in like base 5, you could put next int 5 and it would read it in as a base 5 number for you. So almost never will you use it except when you go to UIL contests, and then you'll like be all pro because they'll say, the numbers here are listed as base 3. Please convert them to base 10. You're like, that's one line. Then you have to do math for that. So, yay. So bam. Yeah. Should we put the if statement then? Something like this. Drag that down there. Come down here. Drag that there. Uh-oh. Comment that out. Yeah. Copy. Paste. Good? And tell them if they're smart or not. Run it. What's your IQ? Okay, so remember I put like the spaces and then the colon? Spaces, colon. Why don't I hit enter? Why don't I do print line? Why did I do print?
Well, if you do a print line, once it print the answer to the question on the next line.
It does this. It hit enter. But I want the user to hit enter. Right? Like when you type the number, you're gonna hit enter. So I don't need the computer to do it. The user will do it. Make sense? Cool. The other thing you can do is make a file. Give it a name, like, I don't know. OtherIQ.txt. And the first thing you'll do, you have to run, when you use files, you have to run your program once just to make a file. I'll show you what happens. So, file, dot, create yourself. Create new file. So far, so good? No? Oh, okay. Get me worried here, man. Come on. If you say no, you gotta like tell me why so I can fix it. Okay, so if you look over my files, I just built this. There's not a file there, right? Yes? Okay. But when I run this, when I run the program, 9. Now, there's a file there. created a new file. Now, what do you think happens when I run it again? Let's see. Did it make another one? Okay, let's try this. What if I put 85 in there, hit save? What if I run it now? Close it. When I open this up, am I going to see the number I had before? Why?
Because it's recreating it as a new file, so it looks like
Ta-da! Create new file is a harmless you can't line. You won't get hurt doing it, right? If the file's there, it doesn't do anything. If the file's not there, it says, oh, I'll make it for you. So there is no harm in doing create new file until you get more advanced. But for now, there's no harm. You don't lose any information. You don't lose the file. It just makes a new one so that whatever you said was there is actually there. Good? Okay. Now, in like Windows, what is the name of the file? Otheriq.txt. In the program, what is the name of the file? So in the program, the name of this integer is useriq. The name of this boolean is smartiq. In the program, the name of the file is file. So the program knows it as file. The Windows system knows it as otheriq.txt. Do y'all see the difference in that? Yes. All right. So then, let's say I have that 85. Then I can make an integer called otheriq. Oh, I haven't done a scanner yet. Oh no. So do y'all want to reuse a scanner or make a new one? Or do you want to see both? Both. Okay. So which one do you first?
use the old one and then
Use the old one. All right. First, we'll use the old one. So the first thing I need to do with the old one is I need to tell it to close. Because, you know, it was looking at the keyboard. So let's, like, finish that because I don't want you to look at the keyboard anymore. Now I want you to look at the file, right? Yeah? So scan, what I want you to do is I just want you to be a whole new scanner with the same name. And instead of reading the keyboard, I want you to read the file. Yes? Does that make sense? And then the other IQ is going to be scan dot next integer. And they both work. We good? You all following that? Do you all have enough coding background to follow that logic? Yes. The other way to do it is to make a whole nother name. That reads from the file. And then you'd have to remember to use that name there. Now the keyboard is still listening, but the program's over, so there's nothing to do. So now you got one guy reading the keyboard and one guy reading the file, and you could mix and match, and you could have like 3 people reading 3 different files, 3 scanners reading 3 different files. I need this here, now I need this, now I need this. Ultimate multitasker. Okay? So that's files. So when I have you make a program and say, here's the input, you gotta, then you will either type it in from the keyboard, which is painful, every single time type all your little stuff in. Or just make a file and just, it's like you typed it in the keyboard, but it's in a file. We good? Okay, so here would be your first, here's your first assignment. Oh, I should probably publish this stuff. Publish, bam. Publish. We're gonna have you guys start with dessert time. So here's Schoology. Here's notes. We just went over it. So there's access to the PowerPoint if you want. Also, this is what I want you to try to knock out. I want you to try to knock out dessert time. It's super straightforward. You give me a number. If it's between 100 and 200, print apple pie. If it's bigger than 199, print sopapilla. If it's less than 101, print banana split. Good? Okay. The other things that I need you to do is I need you to do sign up for the AP Classroom sometime. And sometimes we'll do group activities. And so there's a discussion post called Squad Up Anyone. So answer the question and ask if you like working in groups or alone, and that way you can connect with people who are distance learners and people who are face-to-face learners. So, any concerns? Y'all know what to do. Cool. Stream, you have any concerns? I'll let the delay happen. I will release y'all to your computers. Okay, have fun. Stream, we're going to be back on in like 30 minutes, like 10 o'clock or so. We'll start the next little lesson segment. So, see ya.